greetings, and welcome to the podcast here today. It's called Wellness Vibe Fest, powered by TN Seal and LeMoyne Owen College. My name is Ina Esco, and I have four beautiful women with me today that are talking all things wellness today. So I'm going to let the ladies introduce themselves. First up, we have...
Hi everyone, it's Neisha. I am a biology major here at LOC, soon to be 2026 biology in pre-med.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Dr. Brinders Jones. I'm a pediatrician in the Memphis area and graduate of LeMoyne Owen College.
Hello, my name is Ashaundra Bernard. I'm a registered nurse and owner of Test Anywhere Mobile Laboratory.
Hello, my name is Christian Hogan. I'm a sophomore here at the LeMoyne Owen College, and I'm majoring in criminal justice.
Thank you, ladies. Once again, I am your host, Ina Esco, a graduate of LeMoyne Owen College, class of 2001. And I'm so excited to be here today because there are a lot of things going on in health and wellness in just Memphis in general, right? We have a very interesting demo. And I want to talk to you ladies and get your perspectives on things that are needed to be known in Generation Z. You're not Generation Z.
They say I am.
Okay. So you may be a millennial.
I tried to sneak in, they wouldn't let me.
Okay. So we're going to say slick Gen Z, slick millennial.
Okay, I appreciate that.
That's the population of students that we're dealing with here at LeMoyne Owen College right now. So I want to start with Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones, what are some of maybe the most interesting issues that we're having from a wellness perspective right now?
Okay, I would say one of the things is relationships and the results of relationships. We are having increased cases of STIs, and I will have people come in sometimes that want to be checked. And one of the other issues that we are dealing with is mental health. And then as far as how to seek it or, really express that I'm not feeling well, something needs to be done, and accepting that you're not totally well. Mental health is a part of wellness, and then accepting there's nothing wrong with you, but you just need, someone to talk to. Right.
Because from a mental health perspective, like this is... Well, I guess you can prescribe things, but it's really like trying to get to the root of the problem,
Absolutely.
which can take a lot of time.
Absolutely, and that's where I have to get people to say, it's okay to talk to a counselor, and they're like, I don't need to talk to anybody, I don't need to talk to anyone, and I have had them come want medication, but it's like, no, we need to, really talk.
What do you think is the reluctance to talk to someone? Is it probably something just, learned growing up at home or taboo? For so long, mental health has been so taboo, and now it's really just a breakthrough right now.
Absolutely. Culture. We believe in the spiritual power, and it's like you don't talk about it. And also, what's at home? Because I, was reared as we keep things at home,
Yes.
and we're gonna talk, and we don't talk to anybody on the outside. And there, as far as a lack of trust, and also finding somebody that looks like us. It's like you go to somebody, it's like I want a black person, and
Right.
there's a shortage on that. But
So there is a shortage on black mental health professionals.
yes, absolutely.
Wow. Yes. Ashaundra. What are your thoughts?
I definitely agree with the cultural aspect of it. Anytime we speak mental health, it's automatically, I'm not crazy.
Right. The word crazy comes into play.
Right. And it doesn't, like she said, it doesn't mean that you're crazy. It means that you just have some things going on that you need to sit down and talk to somebody about. Whether it be your pastor, that can be your mental health provider. So you may not always necessarily have to go and seek out a healthcare professional. You more so need to have somebody that you can rely on, that you can be vulnerable with, and someone who you can that can help guide you out of that headspace. I would say more and more of us are seeking out counseling and mental health organizations to help us out with stress and depression. But I will also say food is a big part of it.
Okay.
A lot of foods that we eat, it releases certain chemicals in our bodies that can make us more vulnerable to stress.
Give me some examples,
Like
Ashaundra.
cortisol, which is causing us to gain weight. Also causing you to have those moments where you're not able to really battle or deal with stressful situations. So that's why you have so many people just spazzing out or just eager to just respond instead of just stopping and taking a moment and breathe and work through that situation. So I would say diet definitely plays a significant role. I myself, when I'm trying to eat more of a plant-based meals throughout the week, and if I slip up and eat something like beef,
It'll throw you off.
it'll throw me off.
I've heard that.
It's just imbalanced. But
Okay.
when I'm eating more foods that include this high-based plant, then I'm not having moments where I'm stressed out. It's like I can get up and go. I have more energy. So I really feel like what we're putting into our bodies is a big part of it too.
So that natural life, that vegan life, not really vegan.
Not necessarily vegan.
It gives you energy.
It
No,
gives
but
you energy.
I think that if we also look at the choices, fast foods, and that's what we live on. I'm sure that, our students here, we love our fast foods. You're going to love your spicy, hot and spicy and all.
Let's
And,
ask the students, y'all like that fast food? Be honest.
Yeah, to a
Most
point.
definitely.
To a point. To a point. I say that.
All the way.
Are there healthy options provided here at LeMoyne Owen College?
Yes, at LeMoyne Owen College, there are a lot of healthy options. We have the salad bar. We have,
Vegan option.
we have vegan options, so it's option for everybody here.
Are you frequenting the vegan options?
No.
Or why not?
I don't know. It's really, I just need to get inside of my own mind and really try and eat better because I'm really stopping myself. So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Neisha, are you frequenting the vegan options? Time to time. So it really sounds like, you have to be ready to make that decision for yourself
Yeah, it's a mental
to change.
Right.
Thing. I feel like most things are mental. If you're not ready from the inside, how can you be ready from the outside? So it's a mental change.
Okay, and speaking of mental, you heard the doctor and the nurse talk about, there are a lot of mental issues with our Gen Z millennials right now. What can you tell me about that from, your generation? What is the main cause? What is going on that you see?
Culture.
Culture?
It's sad, but it's true. I was taught if a problem is in the house, it stays in the house. You do not take it outside the house. So that's like what we got. Pretty much most of us, like, you deal with it on the inside. You deal with it by yourself because, to be honest, nobody probably going to care. That's what we grew up on. I'm not saying that we can't change from that. I'm just saying it will take time because you coming from a space of, oh, well, I have to deal with this, I have to deal with that, but nobody listening to me. And then you want us to come out and be like, well, if I just put myself out there, maybe somebody hear. And then you do put yourself out there and it feels like nobody's still hearing. So it's more, it's like, it's culture based, but it's also, it's a mental thing as well. It's playing on your downfall because you putting yourself out there, but you at the same time you're scared because who's gonna believe you? And if you do say something, then everybody look at you like you're crazy. That's the first thing that pop out. You're crazy, or oh, that's not that serious. You can get through that. It's like it might be something. One person issue might be small to me, but it's big to them. And I feel like a lot of people be like, well, I handle this and that, so if I can go through it, you can go through it. Versus like really like sitting down, like I hear what you're saying. Let's find a way to work it out so we can find a better ease in pain. Easy way to handle what you're going through. But most people don't think of it that way.
Could you give me the question one more time so I can make sure I have it?
So what are you seeing from a mental health aspect from your generation?
I'm starting to notice that a lot of our stuff is relationship based, and by relationship based, I'm not meaning, your significant other or your partner or anything, but I'm talking about something that stems in the home. Your relationship with your mother and father plays a big part in the relationships that you get in.
That's true.
Once you become an adult. And I feel like a lot of us have not fixed that trajectory that we have in our family household, and it's playing a horrible part in our life now, to where we don't know how to deal with our mental health, we don't know how to deal with relationship, and we're falling down in every aspect. So I just feel like that's what's going on with our generation. But that's why we're, doing our little self-medicating things where, like we do yoga, we do meditation. We're trying to do all the little things to try and get ourselves back together. So,
What about therapy?
I think therapy would be a great idea.
Are you open to therapy?
Personally, I've already been in therapy.
How was it?
It was great. It allowed me to go back and look at some things that I needed to reevaluate in order for me to fix myself now.
Gotcha. What about you, Neisha? Any therapy?
No.
Do you want to try?
I won't I won't try it. I'm down to try whatever. Have I done it? No.
Gotcha. Very interesting discussions we're having right now. And what I would like to know from the medical professionals, not only are we dealing with the mental aspect, but let's talk about the physical real quick, because I'm hearing some news that's very disturbing. I'm hearing that Memphis is #1 in STDs. Skyrocketed gonorrhea, chlamydia, trichomonas, everything. Dr. Jones, what's going on?
I say love. I think that a lot of it is.
Is it true?
It is true. It's true.
Okay.
And I would say that we've had increase. Definitely with syphilis, and I would say chlamydia. Those are, chlamydia is, I see that all the time. So that is, yes.
Okay, so where is this stemming from? What has changed over the last 2 years? Is it COVID related?
And I think that, part of it is COVID, and also lack of education. When we went to schools, I know they were doing just general,
online.
They were doing some generalized education, like when you're transitioning from into puberty, and at least you did get to see those things, because I would have some people like, oh, I saw that, I know, but during that 3-year period of COVID, I don't think the education was there.
True.
And also, in the home, your parent sometimes is the last person you feel that you can talk to.
Yes.
But I do tell my parents, we need to start early. When the questions is there, just start. Don't wait until they're middle school or high school after they have, had an encounter or, had sex. It's like they need to know beforehand all of these things, and talk about the diseases. You can pull out, photos, everything. But we need
those
to
photos will
education.
get you.
Yes, the photos were like, I'm not letting you touch me. Yeah, but education, and I think that is. I'm a proponent of education. You need to, be informed and
Dr.
then make
Jones,
informed decisions.
You have me
Yes.
reflecting on when I talked to my teenage son. He's 17 now, and I remember me and my husband having a conversation with him about sex at maybe 13, 14, and he was so embarrassed and shamed. And, we knew we needed to have that discussion. And he came to us when he was ready to move forward with the discussion. And we were so proud, that he could talk to us, right? And we purchased him some condoms. I hope I'm not embarrassing you, baby, but I'm not going to shout you out or nothing.
Right. That's what you need to. And say the parent, you provide it, because you don't want to, this child say, well, I didn't have it.
Right.
You provide, say.
To use that as an excuse, right?
Yes.
Yes, but I remember even me as a child not even wanting to talk to my mom or dad about it. But my dad was very upfront and vocal, straightforward. But my mom wasn't. It was weird. She didn't want to talk nothing about it. but my dad did, because I know he didn't want me to get pregnant or anything like that. But I know I am rambling on about my life. I want to talk to Ashaundra about these STDs. What are you saying?
I think people being a little trifling.
That's what it is.
I think that's one of the biggest issues that's floating around. They're just caught up in that moment of, passion, and I'm feeling you, and, all these other things that come along with being intimate. And I really feel like if people would be more protective of themselves and their body, stop playing Russian roulette with your body, because it only takes one time for you to get an STD. And Gen Zers or late millennials, you're definitely in a window where you can still get HPV. That's a significant disease amongst the young women.
Talk to us about HPV. What is HPV?
So it's called human papillomavirus. You can get it sexually transmitted, and I think it more so affects the female, which can lead to ovarian cancer, infertility issues. And so you need to think about those things, like when you're younger and the guy's telling you, just this one time, no, I don't want, because it doesn't necessarily show up in them, and don't quote me on that, but I think in the guys, I don't think it necessarily shows up in them as well as it does women. And so they're more so carriers, and the woman can potentially be infected with this disease, absolutely. You don't know what it's doing to your body down the road. So when you get married or you want to start having a family, that may really cause an issue, because you had this virus that really affected your reproductive system, which can prevent you from having children. So I really think if people would be more protective of themselves, that's your temple. So watch what you're putting into your temple, i.e. your, sexual parts as well as your mouth. What you're ingesting, what you are exposing yourself to. But I really think it's that people are not really protective of themselves like they should.
Yeah, I remember growing up, HPV wasn't even a factor back then. Let's just say 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
Say that it was, but we didn't really know there was not a vaccine. So now we do have the vaccine, and there are campaigns, because St. Jude has been partnering with, medical groups to increase the percentage of young people that receive the vaccine. But I will say on that, you're right, the HPV, but I would have some that say, well, they're not having sex. We look at the age from 9 or 10 on up, and it's well, no, they're not having.
But 9 and 10-year-olds are having sex.
Yeah.
That is crazy coming out of my mouth, but it's the truth.
It is. Yes. And, all the exposure to technology.
Yes.
Some parents are leaving their kids just the phone and the tablets are their babysitters. So it's no telling what they're exploring on the internet, especially if you don't have those parental controls set. And so they could probably come and tell you about some things that you didn't know about.
I promise they do, because I did not know the porn cartoons, and then when they
when
they told me, I was like,
yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Porn cartoons.
Yes, that's right. You're all right. Porn cartoon.
I'm not sure if you know, but they have this show out called Big Mouth or something like that.
Oh no, yeah.
The biggest one on Netflix, and so anybody can watch it.
Anybody, kids involved,
anything, and it goes in such a deep level of talking about ejaculation, talking about sex itself.
Is it education?
I mean, technically,
it's educational to an extent,
but I feel like
it's not
certain
in
ages.
nature. It's not in nature, so it's just it's not something that should be on TV.
Broadcast very widely. I would understand if it was focusing on what not to do, but it's kind of showing you what to do in a way.
It's showing you,
and it's making
a joke about
it. You gonna play with it? You gonna put monsters in it, make it look like it's child's play? Don't do that.
Wow, this is interesting. This is very interesting. But I do want to get your perspective as students here at LeMoyne, talking about STDs, right? Now that you've heard from the medical professionals some of these staggering statistics, what are your thoughts?
My honest talk?
Very much. Let's be transparent. Why not?
It's not really a shocker.
It's not
it's
a shock.
But it's not really a shock. people have sex all the time. It's one of those conversations that's like, at first, growing up, like, sex used to be like, oh, ew, like, don't talk about it. Now it's like, let's talk about it. Oh,
Now that you're in college.
yeah, it's like,
Gotcha.
let's talk about it. Like, let's come. I'm like, y'all don't.
But knowing
Privacy.
Memphis is number one in STDs, that's like you walking out on the campus looking to the right and to the left of you. Maybe 3 out of 5 people got chlamydia or syphilis. How does that make you feel?
Well, I'm near Atlanta.
Well,
I looked everywhere. There was like probably 9%. It's like almost 80%. Atlanta used to be top one.
I remember
And
Atlanta was number one.
It used to
And
be
we
frightening,
took
but people
the-
be
that
like,
was the top
they
spot.
have a plaque. that
Yeah, they had a
has
whole-
HIV population.
a whole plaque, and they broadcasted it, and I was like, "That's not. You don't want to be proud of that." I was like,
Well, I don't think it's more so something that they're proud of. I think it's something that they're trying to bring awareness to. That half of their population has that.
but I feel like most people know it, but like when it comes to peer pressure and again technology, it's such a easy access. Like people just like, well, if it's gonna happen, nobody thinks it's gonna be them until they get it.
Yeah, I feel like nobody thinks it's going to be them, and then
They get
a lot
in.
of people don't. When something is happening with their body, they don't think, "Let me go to the doctor immediately."
Yeah, they thinking, oh well, it'll probably just
right.
go away.
It'll go away. Let me wait.
Let me drink some lemon in the water. TikTok.
Yeah.
Let me drink some
Or,
lemon in the water. and
or
it'll
they may
work
go
out.
online and try to become
'cause
a doctor.
TikTok is-
And
you go on TikTok, well, use this and that, and it works for me. Just because it works for this girl body, don't mean it works for this girl body. And just because she told you under 15 minutes, don't
Right.
actually mean she really did it.
But you also
Honestly.
have to be careful because a lot of people also like to self-diagnose and then get themselves
Self-diagnose.
Yeah, they be all.
Yeah.
What happens if I have a
Yeah, right. What if I
discoloration
have a ulcer?
in my? I be like, go home, go to the doctor, and get a professional who studied this to actually tell you. You got something. Don't go online. Google will tell you halfway dead, and you be looking, oh,
That's
it's
why
my
I
grave.
say, Doctor,
It's my time to go.
Dr.
Buddy,
Google.
Just go.
Dr. Google, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. I see
well,
Dr. Google.
Christian and Neisha, I really hope that you two young ladies are encouraging your friends to not self-diagnose and encourage them to go to the doctor and be aware of these STDs at this high rate here in our city.
And wrap it up.
Okay.
Wrap it up.
Please
Yeah,
put a condom
I
on.
say rap. Yes.
And if you don't have one, knock on my room. I got plenty of them. I just keep them for other people because I don't use them.
You a good friend, Neisha. You are a good friend.
I have all kind of stuff for women. Come to my room. I'm going to get you something. We're going to work this out.
Wow. Well,
That's good. That is great.
go ahead, Christian.
That's what I'm saying. I also think that's another thing. Like, I don't think a lot of people, because this is just from talking to people that I've been around. I don't think they know that you can catch STDs orally and stuff like that. So I feel like we should also put a big emphasis on like the mouth dams, the dental dams and everything, because
The what?
The dental dams.
Dental dam.
Yeah, it's like a mouth barrier for when you are performing oral sex. So it's just like, I feel like that also needs to, as much as you put an emphasis on the condom that goes around your, penis and vagina, we also need to have the big emphasis on the one that goes around your mouth.
Oh,
'Cause-
wow.
So there are mouth condoms.
Yes.
See, I know I'm a millennial.
See,
I
people
did
don't
not know
talk
that.
about this
I
out
did
there.
not even know they had those.
So you can go to Walgreens and purchase a mouth condom.
Yeah, you can go to Walgreens,
What?
CVS.
I didn't know there's such a thing. I didn't look.
He said
Well, I know this is just regularly, like, you can
I didn't
walk
even
in
know that was a
anywhere.
thing.
Right,
See,
it should
those
be
kind
wherever
of
you
condoms are
can purchase a condom. Right?
Yeah, like I think you can buy from anybody that you purchase a condom from. Any gas station, any over the counter.
Yeah, I
CVS.
think we do need to bring that awareness because I didn't even know that. I did not know there was a condom for your mouth.
Okay,
Wow.
do you know they have female condoms?
Now I know about that.
Yes. Okay.
I know about that. I learned that a while back. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Right.
Look at y'all, extra protection. I like that.
There is so much for us to understand and know from a wellness perspective. I want to thank you, ladies, for joining me today on Wellness Vibe Fest podcast, powered by TNCL and LLC. Dr. Jones, Neisha, Ashaundra, and Christian. I do want you ladies to give me some last words, though, as we close out the podcast on your thoughts on wellness. Anything that you want to communicate to the audience that you haven't said yet. Let's start with you, Neisha.
Don't be scared to step out your comfort zone. Wellness is not just about your outer body, but it's inner, So don't be scared to, step out your comfort zone and talk to people who you normally don't talk to, because the people you normally don't talk to probably have the answers for you better than your friends who just like, well, girl, I don't know, you got to think it through. We gonna do what we got to do. Be open to getting your information from somebody who already been through it or they're experts in it. So be able to open yourself to new horizons on questions.
Gotcha. Dr. Jones?
That's wonderful advice. I'm going to follow up on that. But I think that, yes, wellness, we'll talk about the total person, and we're talking about, physical, emotional, mental, psychological. All of those things are important. And then don't be afraid to, if you feel that something is lacking, to go out and look for it. And then remember, and as I said, was stated, your body is your temple. So, you only have one body and you need to take care of it and, set your boundaries. But it's important, and that's what you put in, what comes out, everything. It's important.
Yes, Ashaundra.
Yes, piggybacking off of that, your body is your temple. Nobody's going to take care of you better than you. So put you first in all aspects. Don't be selfish, but put you first. Make sure you be mindful of what you are putting into your body so that you can operate at your highest vibrations.
Yes, ma'am. Christian.
I would say ask for help, get tested regularly, get condoms, do whatever you can for you. Protect yourself.
Well, thank you, ladies. We appreciate all of your good advice and education today for the Wellness Vibe Fest podcast, powered by TN and LeMoyne Owen College. We will inform you guys on more wellness topics in the future. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.